Welcome to MABC, that's Media Arts Borrowing Channel. Stay tuned for all of our selection. But first, we have a couple of disclaimers that you should pay attention to. Disclaimer, all bookings come through me for your gear, and you should book your gear 24 hours in advance. Disclaimer, Whimsy is here from 10 till 5 for student services. If you have booked gear, you will need to come in between those hours, Monday to Friday, except holidays, to pick up your required gear. Disclaimer, if ever you're late returning gear and gear is due by 11 a.m. on the day that is to be returned, you will owe me a 10-second to 1-minute long Instagram video explaining why you feel it's acceptable to return gear late and hold other students up in line. Disclaimer, this video series will be quite long. If you want to dial into the specific information you want, there are timestamps and an index in the description, or you could pull up the individual videos and peruse them at your leisure. Disclaimer, all of the information seen within these videos may not be an accurate reflection of our current stock, or details may not be 100% correct. Please refer to our website for the most accurate and up-to-date information. Disclaimer, some of the gear that you will see comes with a complete kit. So even if you don't see the components you think come with the item, it actually does come with batteries, cards, cables, and other accessories that are appropriate to that piece of gear. Please see the gear's description on the website to know exactly what it does come with. Media Arts Borrowing Channel is brought to you by York University, your university. Welcome back to MABC. Now we're going to be talking about our camera equipment and camera gear that's related to cameras. This is our Theta V 360 camera. We have a number of these kits available. It's a rechargeable battery within it, and it shoots in 4K. It's 2K per lens and 4K for a combined stitched image. This also works with a mobile phone app, and also can be edited within app for posting, or you can bring it across to the Theta 360, the app for both Mac or PC. This is our Theta SC camera. After the Theta V was discontinued by Ricoh, they re-released the Theta V with the SC so that we could still have access to the same level of camera technology. This has all the same trappings as the V, except it has a slightly shorter focal distance, so things can be closer to the 360 camera. It also has improved memory storage, so it can hold more, and it has better cooling features, so that it doesn't have the same power-off issues that the original camera did when it was plugged in and operating for long periods of time. However, the new model does not include a microphone input jack. So that is the only real difference between the cameras. This is our Kodak Orbit 360 4K camera. It can also operate in a single lens fisheye ultra wide mode. This camera has the ability to focus as close to 1.6 millimeters on it, so objects can get incredibly close to this camera and still be in focus. It has a lower light capacity, and it has removable memory storage, so you can swap out memory cards for this one instead of having to empty out the camera before continuing your shot. This is our Insta-X3 360 camera. This one is also in 4K, but is capable of doing 8K hyperlapse shots. It's 48 megapixels on the still image camera. It's a waterproof camera. It comes with a kit with the invisible Insta360 monopod hand wand. And it has a touchscreen control on it, so you do not need to merge it or pair it with your device in order to see through the camera lenses. You can control all of the options and all of the features from the camera body itself prior to shooting. It also has a horizon lock on it, so that if you're moving the camera around wildly, or if you're riding on a vehicle or a bicycle or whatnot, you can lock the horizon so it has less Z shifting on the 360. This is our Insta 360 Pro 2 camera. It's a 8K camera that does spherical 360 film. It can live stream, and it will do 12 megapixel still images. It's also equipped with the Farsight system, so you can attach it to a phone and go remotely up to 1,000 feet away with this particular model. And it's also features no-stitch editing within Adobe Pro, and allows for all kinds of other unique features. Now we have our Insta360 RS1. It's a 1-inch sensor on a 360 camera, so we've got our two 360 lenses, or our fisheyes, and we get a 6K out of this, and it has extra ISO levels for low light situations. Now we've got Insta360's 1R camera. It's a POV action camera, and we've got a selection of mounts and different ways of using this camera. It's got an ultra-wide lens and is ideal for point-of-view shooting. Now we've got our Canon EOS T6 camera. It's a 22 megapixel stills camera that can shoot video, has an internal microphone, and has a number of different lens adapters that can screw onto the outside of the lens to give different options. Now we have our Nikon D3500 DSLR camera. We have a couple of these kits with two different lenses, the stock lens and a zoom lens for it. These are a great stills camera. They can also record video for background or running gun kind of documentaries, but they are not able to take external sound input, so they are not appropriate for main production use. Now we have our Panasonic GH5 camera. It's a micro four thirds camera. We have a number of lenses, several prime lenses and zoom lenses available for it. It can take an external microphone and also capable of shooting stills. Now we have our Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 1K, the OG Blackmagic camera. It's an excellent cinematic camera and has micro four thirds lenses, so it has access to our prime and zoom lenses as well for it. Now we have our Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K camera, also equipped with a micro four thirds lens, so it has access to all of our prime and zoom lenses for micro four thirds. It'll shoot in Blackmagic RAW, which you can edit in DaVinci Resolve and export to whatever video editing software you need. It's a great little camera to work with and has a really nice cinematic look to its shots. Next we have a Panasonic Full HD camcorder. It's great for doing reference or if you're looking for a vintage style shot. Now we have the Red OG Original 4K camera. It was the first 4K camera on the market, and we're pleased to have it with a really nice zoom lens here. And it's comes with a viewfinder and a field monitor included with its kit. Now we have our Fujipix Real 3D camera. It has two lenses on it so that you can do stereoscopic filming. Now we have our iPhone 14 Pro Max. It's a great little phone, but we use it as a camera. We have a small rig camera cage for it with handles. You can put a cold shoe mic onto this. You can attach other kind of lighting to it. It's got LiDAR, so you can film in depth, and you can also do lots of normal phone things with it. Now we have our GoPro Hero 10 POV action camera. It does 4K, and we have a number of different mounts available for its use. Now we've got our Omitop. It's a boreal camera, so it's for doing underwater shooting or looking down drains, filming fish, things like that. It's a boreal camera and not for medical use. Now we have the OMAX 2 megapixel digital video camera for microscopes. You can record footage from slides and do scientific stuff. Now we've got our selection of tripods, monopods, and selfie sticks. We have triple head, we have fluid video heads, we have panning heads. We've got all the mounts you need. Come on and check out our great selection. Now we have another tripod. Oh, a tripod dolly. Now it's our Ultimax tripod dolly. It's adaptable to all the tripods that we have and will turn any tripod into a rolling mechanism of fun. Now we have our newer camera cage and adjustable shoulder rig with sun shields on the front. It also has an optional focus control for the side that's manual. And you can take apart and reconfigure this cage in many different ways depending on your filming needs. Now we have two different camera stabilizers. We have our RoxAnt undercarriage stabilizer for the camera, and we also have the Ultimax upper grip stabilizer depending on the style that you want to use. Now we have our Nucleus N. It's a follow focus and zoom control for remote operation of the focus wheel or the zooming of a camera that it's hooked up to. Next, we're going to be talking about all the sound gear that we have available here in Media Arts for students to borrow. Now we have the H1N field recorder. It's an XY mic. It saves to an SD card, or you can plug it into the computer via USB and record straight to internal software within the computer if that's the way you would like to work. Now we have the H2N field recorder. It's the second in our Zoom family. This one features a XY mic, also a mid-level mic, and surround sound options. It can record to either 2-channel or 4-channel audio, and it also can be plugged into a computer so that you can record straight into the computer, or you can record to the internal SD card. Now we have the H3VR. It's the third in our Zoom recorders. It's got 4 capsule mics within it, and it's capable of doing ambisonic surround sound recording for positional audio. It can also be plugged into a computer so that you can record straight there, or you can store your audio on the internal data card. Now we have our H4N Pro field recorder. It features a XY mic. It also has 2 XLR inputs at the bottom. It's also capable of providing phantom power to external microphones for their use. It can be plugged into a computer and record straight in, or it can also record to the internal SD memory card within it. Now we have our Zoom H5 handy recorder. It's got an XY mic on the top of it, but it has a removable top pod. We also have a shotgun mic that can connect, or a capsule pod for doing ambisonic recording. It also has 2 XLR inputs on the bottom and can provide phantom power to any microphone that you may want to connect. You can save internally to the SD card or plug it into a computer and record straight to your software. Now we have our H6 handy recorder. It's got an XY mic at the top, and you can remove the pod and put in our shotgun pod or one of the ambisonic pods onto this. It also has XLR inputs, but instead it has 4 inputs for it and can provide phantom power to those 4 microphones. You can record straight down to the SD card or connect this through to a computer and record straight into your authoring software. Now we have our Aquarian Hydrophone. It's an XLR microphone that is for underwater recordings. Now we have our main lavalier mics. These ones work with our Go 2s or our Sennheisers, or can plug into any camera or field recorder as a single channel mono microphone input or lavalier. Now we have our Smart Lav. This lav is designed to work with your portable phone or tablet or device and allows you to do lavalier microphone recording. Now we have the NTG capsule microphone. It's a shotgun mic that mounts inside of our Rode Blimp. That includes a dead wombat or troll hair to reduce wind noise. So this is a boom microphone. Now we have the NTG5 boom microphone, and this one has a bit of a sound isolation bracket, so any movement along the pole is isolated from the microphone itself, giving you a really clean sound quality. Now we have our Rode Video Pro mic. This is a shotgun mic that can mount either on a camera or on the end of a boom pole, and it plugs into a 3.5 millimeter, so it can plug into any of our field monitors, or it can plug into your computer. Now we have our Rode Go 2 wireless lav kits. They are a single receiver with 2 transmitters. They have a built-in microphone or a 3.55 millimeter jack that you can plug an external lavalier mic into, and they record either internally into each of the transmitters, or you can plug them into the audio input on a camera, field recorder, or straight into your computer. Now we have our Xelia ambisonic microphone. This has 20-channel audio recording, and it's our best environmental mic that we have available. It can be plugged in through your computer or into an iPad. It has no internal recording capability, so you will need an operation unit to power this system. Now we have the Ultimax Mini Condenser Shotgun Mic. This is a cold shoe mic and can also be put on the end of a boom pole for doing directional audio and records in stereo. Now we have our Sennheiser G4 wireless transmitter and receiver for lavalier mics or external microphone plugins. Now we have our Shure SM7B Legendary Performance mic. This is a cardioid mic that's excellent for performances and for podcasting. Now we have our Shure SM58 Legendary Vocal microphone. This is your classic handheld microphone, and it's excellent for dictation, podcasts, or GMing, DMing, PMing, master of ceremonies, something like that. Yeah, that's a good deal. Now we have our Blue Yeti condenser mic. This mic is ideal for podcasting or interviews. It can plug in via XLR into any of our handy recorders that have XLR inputs, or it can go into an audio interface, or it can plug in via USB into a computer for doing recording straight there. Now we have binaural microphones. These are like lavalier mics, but you put them on and you're able to capture someone speaking in stereo instead of mono like a lavalier mic. Now we have our Zoom F6 field recorder. This has no internal microphones. It has 6 XLR connections and provides phantom power to your external mics. And it can be recording into a deck, onto SD cards, or into your PC if you hook it up to that or your Macintosh system. Now we have our Sennheiser mono headset. It has a microphone and it's a USB interface so that you can do Zoom calls, or you can record yourself mono in and listen to your audio as you go. Now we have headphones. These are Audio-Technica. They have some sound padding in them, and they're great for either monitoring your field recording, or you can plug them into your computer to listen to anything you need to if you forget your headphones on the day. Now we have our Marley Bluetooth stereo speakers that students can use, and these feature beautiful beaver panel finish. Now we have our Shidu voice amplifier. This is a microphone that you speak through, and it has a speaker connected to it so that you can broadcast your voice louder than it is if you're doing presentations or you're doing a tour and you're wanting to command an audience. Now we have the Rode PSA-1 swivel microphone boom arm. Sound? Boom poles? We got a few. If you need to boom an actor, come see me. And when you're wanting to record on an external microphone and hook in through XLR, we have rainbow XLR cables and lots of other cables that you can use as hooking up your accessories. Next up, we're going to go through our charcuterie board of lighting that's available to be borrowed here in Media Arts. Now we have our GVM 1280 LED kit light. These come with 3 in a kit, light stands included, and a carrying bag. We can also put batteries on these, and you can attach it to an app to cycle through the RGB colors or control multiple lights at the same time, and that app is also available with the smaller LED set, the 850s. Now we have our GVM 850 LED RGB lighting kit. These come with 3 similar lights, light stands, and everything you need to carry it around. Now we have our Canadian Studio Pro LED light that can be booked separately if you need extra cold shoe lights or just another light on set. Now we have our small rig, our M75 LED light. It's a light that can go onto a tripod or attached to any surface that's magnetic. It's got a magnetic back on it. This is also an RGB light, so you've got your full selection of the rainbow of colors. And you can also use an app for your device, and you can remote control the light, or you can also program it with different visual effects. There are about 8 preloaded into it to choose from. Now we have our Genere Contender Fresnel or Fresnel light. It's a nice little spotlight that has also got a focusing ring on it, so you can focus the light very narrowly or have it spread out for a wider beam. Now we have our video lights that go in a cold shoe. We have ones for our Canon Rebel kits, our Nikon kits, and then a larger shoe light for our Lumix GH5 kits. Now we have our Photo Studio light with diffuser. It has 2 options, on and off. And you can see the light in there if you don't want the diffusing option. Now we have our tungsten kits. These are a 3-light tungsten set that comes in a single kit with light stands. These are incredibly bright and incredibly dangerous lights. So if you're going to be checking these out, you will need to have a dedicated gaffer on set as your lighting person, and they will need to provide their own leather gloves and present them to me in order to be allowed to check this out. Now we have our MobiPhoto ring light. This has 3 color temperature settings and a couple of brightness adjustments for it. It's a fairly basic ring light, but it'll do the trick. Now we have our Gold Clamp digital lux meter, which is excellent for getting your brightness on set and then being able to match CG lighting to the same brightness for matching green screen plates to digital plates. Now we've got our small rig matte box that can attach to the front of many of our cameras with the various adapter plates, and this allows you to slide in one of our ND filter glass plates that can go into this, so that you can help control the light getting to the cameras. Now we have our Westcott 5-in-1 reflector kit. It's got a gold, a silver, a black, and a white with the diffuser in the center. Now we have our Westcott 5-in-1 reflector kit with mounting stand. So if you don't have an extra person on set, this can be your extra set of hands. Now we have our newer 6-in-1 green screen, blue screen, and reflector kit. Now we have our newer green screen setup kit. It comes with framing for hanging your green screen, and we have several to choose from. Now we're going to be looking at all the various bits and bobs that are available to be borrowed here. Now we have our iPad Pro 11-inch. These are available for in-house use only, or you can sign it out with professor's permission, overnight only. We have lots of different AR and XR software on here, face capture software, Studio Clipbook, rotoscoping, and it has the Apple Pencil too. Now in case students need to use a tablet, we have our Samsung Galaxy, and you can use this for Aero or other AR projects. Now we have our Intuos and Intuos Pro tablets. These can plug into both PC or Mac and can be used over Bluetooth. Now we have our DJI RS2 DSLR gimbal. This can support fairly heavy cameras from about 10 to 20 pounds or lighter. And it helps steady your shot. And there's an app that you can get with it so you can do follow, face recognition, and a whole bunch of other little bells and whistles. Now we have our DJI RS3 Mini. This is a DSLR gimbal that can be used for our lighter body cameras. if you're doing more of a run and gun and you need the flexibility of moving over time and you don't want to be carrying a lot of weight with you. Now we have our Crane 3 DSLR gimbal. This is capable of carrying our heavier cameras, such as our Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K, and it's a great little gimbal for steadying your shots or doing hyperlapses or any other kind of advanced kind of maneuvers with a gimbal you'd like. Now we have our DJI OM4 and OM5 handheld phone gimbals. These are nice little portable gimbals that your phone can lock into. One of them has a higher battery capacity and the other one has a little bit of a selfie stick. They both have the same app that controls them so that you can access all the advanced features in your cell phone and your focuses, and you can also have it track you as you move through an environment or whoever you select on the screen or whatever pixels you select. Now we have our Teradek unit. This is a remote monitor HDMI wireless transmitting pack so that we can send images straight from our camera to a field monitor or production monitor in the Video Village. Now we have two of our FeelWorld remote monitors. These are a 7-inch and a 5-inch version. They take an HDMI input signal and can connect to practically all of our cameras. You can also use them for follow focus or set viz. Now we have our RivelPoint Pop2 scanner. This is a stationary scanner or handheld scanner that can either plug into your computer or into your smart device or smartphone. You can use this for scanning anything up to little miniatures to the size of a car. It's not very good with reflective surfaces, but anything with a matte finish, this can scan in, and the models that it scans can be used as assets in your virtual sets, or we can send it to a 3D printer. Now we have our Microsoft Azure Kinect DK developer kit. It can film an RGB signal, infrared, depth camera. It has 7 microphones on it, so it can do ambisonics, and it requires a little bit of R&D to get it working. Now we have our Blackmagic Up and Atom control deck. This is a software control module for controlling where feeds are being directed to for your main output. Now we have our Perception Neuron PN32 motion capture suit. This is a standalone suit or can live link into a computer. You wear various rotational and gyro sensors on the actor's body, and you're able to capture in the rotational data of an actor or performer so that you can puppeteer a CGI creation. Now we have our Perception Neuron Studio Edition suit. This is similar to our other Perception Neuron suit, other than it is simpler to jump into and use. It's a little more advanced, a little heavier, and it also includes separate hand gloves for tracking fingers. Now we have our head-mounted facial capture rig. It uses a iPhone 11 and live face link, which can stream straight into the Unreal Engine. Now we have our portable photo boxes. We have the small one with LED ring light with different modes for brightnesses and color temperature, and we also have our larger, newer one, which has an RGB LED at the top of it, and then you can place your products within it and get nice little product shots. Now we have our electronic turntables. We have a small one that will rotate objects up to 5 pounds, and we have a larger one that will rotate objects or people up to 110 pounds. Now we have our CamLink 4K. This inserts into your computer and allows you to transmit any HDMI signal from a game console to a camera coming in for live streaming or recording through software like Open Broadcast Studio. Now we have our triple mount. This is a camera mount that is intended to go on the windshield or side windows or roof of a vehicle, such as van, car. If you're brave enough, you can place a DSLR camera on this, although it is better used by one of our GoPro or Action cameras, or a 360 camera could even be mounted on this if you're willing to take the risk. Now we have our Jackery power supply. This is a power pack that you can plug a 12-volt adapter, wall plug, or USB into. It contains 240 watt-hours of power and is excellent for outdoor applications when you don't have power on hand. Now for in-house use, we have the Optima 4K digital projector. This projector is also capable of Stereoscopic projection. If you have shuttered glasses, you can get a discrete right-left eye image out of this projector. Now we have our VAMO digital projector. This is an HD projector. It'll take in HDMI or traditional RCA signal. It is also capable of taking a USB key loaded with any video file that you would like to play from it, so you do not need to connect it to a laptop or a computer in order to get a projection from this system. Now we have our newer X12 teleprompter setup. This uses one of the iPads in order to teleprompt your talent on screen. Maybe I should look into using something like this. Now we have our cheese plate. This is an adapter plate for screwing any number of accessories on it. There's also a rail mount on here that can be repositioned, so you can put multiple microphones, lights, rig up your camera a little bit differently to accept any batteries or other accessories you want to do, and you've got lots of options and lots of real estate to put things on different angles. Probably want a sandbag. If you need sandbags, we've got them. Right now they're filled with sand, but soon they'll be filled with small little pebbles. Now we have our director's slate. Here you can indicate your shots and any other information that's applicable to whatever you're going to film. We have a rainbow of dry erase markers, which don't always come off necessarily the best. So we also have available gaffer's tape that you can cover any of this in so that you can always get the right shot. Now we have our iCan HDMI splitter. It can take one HDMI input and split it into 4 outputs. Now we have our C-stands, light stands, knuckles, microphone stands, and this one's on wheels. Ooh, fancy. Now we have our C-clamp super arm. This can chew on to the top of your camera, can bolt down to grab onto different things. You can mount these in various places, hold your remote monitors with these, or mount a camera for a stationary position. Handy little thing, super duper. Now we have our nesting apple boxes. We have our full apple, half apple, quarter apple, and if you're hungry, we have a little pancake down here as well. Now we have our Logitech Pro Web HD camera. This can hook into your laptop or computer and give you a nice image for your Zoom conferences, Teams meetings, Discords, or if you want to just capture something that looks like a web camera captured it. Now we're going to talk about the head-mounted display, or VRware, that we have, our wearable computer collection. Now we have our Vive Pro PC VR headset here, and it uses room scale to track the headset and the controllers. And we also have the Vive trackers, so we can track a virtual camera using this same technology. Now we have our Vive XR Elite. This headset features the ability to have a battery pack on the back, or it can plug in PC VR or to an extension backpack, and you can wear them like sunglasses. They have full color pass-through and the nice pancake lenses for very clean detail. Now we have our Quest 1 headset. This was the original Oculus standalone with tracking inside of the headset that's self-tracked, and we have tracked hand controllers with this. Now we have our Quest 2 headsets. These are great little headsets for doing VR and AR experiences. They have a black and white pass-through, but they still work really nice and give great feedback. Now we have our Quest 3. This also has a color pass-through. It has pancake lenses. It has the new stylized controllers, and it's the newest flagship VR headset to date from Meta. Now we have our Quest Pro. This has color pass-through, it has the brand new pancake lenses, so it's a thinner design, and its controllers track themselves independently. So if you put your hands behind your back, they're still being tracked by the headset. Now we have our Oculus Go headset. This was the first standalone that Oculus put out. It's now root unlocked, so it's very useful for development. Past that, it no longer works with any of the standard Oculus software. Womp womp. Now we have our Oculus Rift headset. This is the original Oculus PC VR. Now we're going to look at all of the various laptops and desktop computers that we have available for in-person use. Now we have our Razer Blade laptop. This was spec'd out for PC VR. It has 16 gigs of RAM and the 2070 Super RTX card. Now we have our Legion 5 laptops. They have 32 gigs of RAM and the 3050 Ti RTX video card. They are great for CG work, VR authoring and testing for PC VR work, and are fully loaded with DaVinci Resolve Studio Edition and access to our Adobe Cloud software as well. Now we have our Legion OG laptops. They have 32 gigs of RAM in them. They have the RTX 2060 video cards as well, which also makes them ideal for CG work. They also are preloaded with our DaVinci Resolve Studio Edition and our full Adobe Cloud software, and these are available for in-person use. Now we have our ROG laptops. They're the 16 gigs of RAM, i7 processor, and they have the 2060 RTX video cards, which makes them excellent for working in Blender or Unreal Ed. Now we also have available spare monitors in case you need to work with dual monitor setups on your Mac or PC. We have some Dells, and we also have some with built-in PC speakers in case you're wanting to broadcast sound to the entire room. Now we can talk about some of the desktops that are available. We have two iMacs available with the full Adobe Cloud upon them. We have desktop in our main Dome computer that can also be used as a computer for doing any kind of CG work or rendering or authoring that you want to do for 360 films intended for display within our Dome. We also have a sound editing computer that's able to do 8K footage editing in real time and is spec'd out to run quite quickly for rendering and pushing out CG or final renders for video. It's also capable of doing ambisonic surround sound and positional audio. We also have a high-end CG computer that has a number of high-end CG authoring tools on it, such as the Autodesk suite of tools, and also all of our main desktops have DaVinci Resolve Studio Edition on them, as well as our Adobe Cloud software available and other CG packages that you can refer to on our website for a full list of what we've got available. Thank you very much for tuning in to the MABC. We'll see you next booking.